Alright, so I wanted to give a little progress update on what I've been working on here. So basically, for all who don't know, I'm in the process of making basically a co-op adventure game. And what you're looking at right now is the early concept art for the character. This was the very first one that I got from my cousin, who's doing all the concept art for me. And with this, I tried to throw together a color scheme. Doesn't really work that well, obviously. Um, as you can definitely see, it's definitely not cleaned up. But this was mainly just to see like what colors could look good. But yeah, it's not very cleaned up. Then, when we updated the design, Derek, my cousin, gave me this, and which I think looks really good. And from there, I tried to color that. I think this one looks a little bit better. Obviously, still not clean, but you can see over here specifically, around here as well. But, you know, just trying to get the general idea across, not trying to be anything fancy quite yet. Then after that, I wanted to go a little more detailed because these are going to armadillos, as you can kind of see right here. So I wanted to go into the actual form when they roll up into a ball. So this is what I sent my cousin. A little bit of an early concept art. You can kind of read right here if you want to. Then he sent me this back, which I think looks fantastic. I really like this. Looks good from the side, from behind as well, and from the back, of course. And moving on here, this was an early design. Obviously, you can see doesn't really look like the concept art that much. Looks definitely a little bit more spiky, definitely more angular for sure. It's because the shading on it is set to flat and not rounded, I believe the alternate is. Then from there, this is the side view. I'm still waiting to get the front view so I can actually start modeling this guy. But yeah, so far that's the concept art I've gotten. Now we can actually jump into a demo scene, so it's not just concept yet. You can see the frame rate counter over here, so if it doesn't appear smooth, you can trust me, it is actually running fairly smooth. So what you're going to want to do is definitely draw your attention over to here, because this is 4-player split screen you're looking at. And this is basically what the character would look up in a ball, the unfinished model. And basically as you're moving, you can see like if you move slow, it'll start to roll along, or if you go fast, it'll roll along a lot better. And the direction of it has to do with the motion itself rather than the direction you're pointing with the joystick. So it feels a lot more natural, that's for sure. Yeah, overall this is the basics of what I've gotten done. But I got a few things going on here. It's not just rolling around. We obviously have jumping going on here. And I also have some sort of wall jump system. Early wall jump system for now. What else do I got? I can show off here. Started to work on a targeting system. You can see over here, depending on where you look, these would be enemies. Well, obviously they're just spheres for now. But then you can lock onto them, and it kind of zooms into this view. That will kind of grow and expand, stuff like that, and then you can hit that to go out. I think the transition here is looking really good, but still needs some work. I'm not happy with the angle quite yet. Then, for instance, these would be your teammates, so I can start moving around the other guy if you want. And you'll notice in this view it's not rolling at all. That's just because this is really placeholder right now. This should be when the character is in their humanoid form, but so of course you can do the rolling as well. And then from here, one little thing that I have is if you were to bounce on the character. Oops. Oh, actually, I might have that turned off right now. Is it? Yeah, there you go. So obviously, need some particles, need some animations, a little too fast, but you can have a little bit of a team jump. So for instance, you could go on top of here, and you also have a second jump as well. I can just show off a little bit more of this tiny little course that I've built here. It's funny, a lot of people who I tested this game, they had a really hard time with this course. But I don't really think it's all that challenging. I'll show you what's going on down there in just a second here. Hopefully I won't mess this up. There we go. You can kind of get a nice little view of the world. We'll go ahead and hop down here. So I have actually All these rock assets you can see right over here, these were, I got them off the asset store for free. They're free to use, royalty free. So I don't know if I actually keep them in the game, just, you know, experimenting with collisions and such. Over here, these are actually assets that I have purchased, and I was kind of messing around with the lighting. See, this is really blue in here, a little too blue if you ask me. You can go in here. This looks a little bit more normal, but it's hardly blue at all. Yeah, just kind of interesting. Messing around with it. I think it looks pretty cool. Obviously, needs work. A lot of different areas. And if you haven't really pieced it together quite yet, the entire game will be taking place underwater. So right now, the skybox, obviously, you pretty much won't be able to see that because it'll be deep underwater. It'll be very dark. And you'll be going from room to room like this. Well, the rooms will be much, much bigger and far more interesting. And these will kind of be like the pipes transitioning between the rooms. But yeah, just early concept stuff. And now I do have a little bit more to show. Something a little bit more visually interesting than this. What else do we have here? So I have a second scene that I was throwing together here. So the lighting on this I'm not perfectly happy with. Needs a lot of work. You can see right away that the ball form itself is very lit incorrectly. But you can kind of get a grip on the mood that I'm going for here. Well, the camera's clipping under the floor, so that doesn't help, but you can kind of get a sense of the mood that I'm trying to go for here. I'm a fan of the colors. I'm really going to try and get something going similar to this. Alright, so, oops. Try and go up here. Have a little pipe going on, but no collisions for that quite yet, so obviously there's lots of work that needs to be done. Okay, and this would potentially be a view to the outside, the dark, deep abyss that you will be in. But yeah, lots of work, but I'm up for the challenge, that's for sure. Okay, that's enough here. So I do have a little bit more to show before I end this little video here. I have been working on some art things, so this is in Blender. This is in a program where I modeled the ball form. And we can, there's the shading that I was wanting to, tools, there we go. So you can see right away, this definitely looks better, but still very low poly, so it doesn't look great, but it's one thing that I kind of makes it look better in some ways, worse in others. But yeah, I'm going to probably remodel this entire thing from scratch, for the most part. Yeah, so that's the ball form in that view. I'm also going to be modeling some fish for the outside. This is just an image I pulled off the internet. Probably going to have to choose a different one for copyright reasons, but haven't quite started with this, obviously, since I just have a cube here. Then I was messing around with rigging, which is essentially, the best way to explain it is the actual character. Here, let's make that easier. So this would be the actual character. So you can kind of imagine players in a game as like a puppet. So this, for instance, is the puppet. Rigging a character is putting the strings through the puppet. So for instance, you can see all the different things going on here. Looks a little complicated. Oh, actually, let's go into fit will select. There we go. So then this is essentially kind of like stringing the puppet, and then animating is basically, you know, making the puppet come alive. And I was messing around a little bit with maybe some sort of tack here. Kind of threw it together maybe only 30 minutes. There's some things here that need to be cleaned up. Kind of looks almost like a clap attack, but yeah, no, this is just more just kind of messing around early concept stuff. That's basically what I've been working on. I got a lot of big ideas. I can probably show you a little bit more, some more images here. These again are some images that I've pulled off the internet and things I've used to explain various different concepts and I've made multiple, oh, that's just vector math. I've put together lots of different things to show other people of different techniques and stuff that I've been using. A little bit of example of the camera system. Here, can we go back? Oh. Alright, well, that's about all I have to show. Yeah, hope this was interesting, and hopefully I'll make progress, a lot more progress next time I make a video. Thanks for watching.